Have you ever wondered how deep tech companies actually start? Well, we were too.
So in this podcast, we'll be interviewing scientists and entrepreneurs that have taken their ideas out of the lab and turned them into startups. I'm Antonia.
And I'm Christina, and this is Startup the Science. Hi there. Thanks for tuning in to Startup the Science. We have another exciting episode for you today with the one and only Simone Meduri from Phononic Vibes. Simone is the Technology Development Manager at Phononic Vibes, and we met him through our 2019 ADMACOM program. And the reason why they were a startup finalist in the program is because of their fantastic, amazing metamaterial technology. And what they do with this technology is that they effectively dampen and absorb mechanical vibrations and noise. Simply put, they are getting rid of noise pollution. How amazing is that? Now, the Phononic Vibes tagline is the metamaterial experience. Experience being the key word. Their technology is something you do have to experience, so we would like to encourage you to go to phononicvibes.com, go to YouTube, and type in Phononic Vibes. It's the first video that pops up. I tried it this morning, so I know. But check out their videos and see what their technology can actually do to sound. This is something that's really important, and they reiterate this in the episode. Simone and Antonia both say, go check it out online because you really do have to experience it. There's no other way of putting it. And so we really highly recommend that. And with that being said, here is Antonia speaking with Simone from Phononic Vibes. I hope you enjoy.
Hi, Simone, and welcome to our podcast.
Hi, Christina and Antonia, and thanks for inviting me.
You're very welcome, and we're very happy to have you with us. So we've been trying for quite a while to get you to talk to us, ever since you participated in ADMACOM last year, where we were very happy to have you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Phononic Vibes? What do you guys do, apart from having a very cool name?
Excellent. So Phononic Vibes is addressing the problem of noise and vibration, which is really affecting our lives. So I want you to imagine yourself at home, having dinner and just wanting to have relaxed by yourself or with your family. And then you start to hear a noisy neighbor or the noisy home appliance, or maybe the train and traffic noise coming from outside. So it's really unpleasant, and people are getting more and more aware about this problem. Also, governments are writing always more restrictive regulation about that. And now we need to pay more attention and get new technologies for this problem. And that's where Phononic Vibes comes.
So you're creating solutions for noise and vibration pollution, let's call it.
Exactly. So the point is that we work on the topic of metamaterials for noise and vibration. Let me explain this better. So in the noise and vibration fields, the typical approach relies on traditional materials, which basically work exploiting the properties of the raw material which are made of. So you use a material that has some insulation properties. Metamaterials instead are basically a change in the paradigm, in the sense that we work on the structure rather than the material. So thanks to a proper design of the structure, namely certain geometries and topology, basically some shapes, particular shapes and periodicity, we can create sound and vibration insulation properties regardless the material the product is made of. So this is really interesting, and it has basically, I would say, two main strengths. The first one is the efficiency of the solution, because we can work on the structure and tune the structure to get the performances that we desire. And so this helps us to have metamaterials that have performances that traditional solutions don't have. On the other side is very important the fact that it's free from the material. So it's such properties are there regardless the material. So we can choose whatever material we want for each application. So choose the best material for certain application. And for example, we can use recycled plastic. That is something that we are really working on in this field.
So metamaterials is quite a new concept, right? We have a lot of startups that we've worked with. Many of them come up with new materials, but it's quite exciting that you can use pretty much any material within your structures and your geometries, which, by the way, are kind of hard to imagine. So maybe our listeners should go to your website, phononicvibes.com, and have a look there. But can you just, for my curiosity, can you explain a little bit better how this works? How come that we can use any material and still get the same result?
Yeah, it's really hard to explain, and I really underline your suggestion with visiting our website. It's better than probably my words, but still. So the point is that if you make certain shapes, certain geometry of the structure of your product, this part of the product goes to resonance while the noise and vibration wave is coming, and such resonances are able to extract and dissipate energy from the wave, and in this way the wave will be dampened out after passing through the product. And all this mechanism is based only on the geometry and the shape of the product, and works regardless the real material it is made of. So this is really the crucial point.
That's amazing. Let's talk a little bit about the applications. So one of the strongest noise polluters, I'd imagine, is the transport industry, or at least that's what we face on a daily basis. We hear trains, trams, all around us, including now when we're at home more. Is that one of your core industries where your products would have direct applications, or what else are you focusing on?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we are now working on 4 different sectors, since this problem is really affecting our society and it's more and more relevant. So we are working on the infrastructure sector, as you were mentioning. So basically, we are working both on the ground-borne vibration and the noise vibration generated by the traffic of trains and also highway in general. This works basically with the product that goes underground. So there are certain panels that goes laterally with respect to the railway, for example, and it dissipate and dampen out the vibration going laterally with going towards the other structures and people living nearby. Another application, another sector is the sector of home appliances in general. We are working with some partners that are companies producing, for example, kitchen hoods. The noisy machine that extracts fumes while you're cooking, and also air conditioning system and heat pumps. And we are working in some application in other home appliances in general with companies that are basically producing such products. Another sector instead is the automotive one. You know that now there is electric cars are coming and are growing, and as soon as the engine noises like disappear, basically thanks to the electric cars, all the other source of noise become way more important. We are now working with another company which is like a supplier of all the main car producer, in order to integrate our solution inside the car and improve the noise environment inside the passenger compartment. Last but not least, the sector of buildings instead, while we are working to produce a soundproofing panel for building applications. So in order to solve the problems between neighbors and to make your home quieter and more comfortable.
So it sounds like all of these applications would be very useful to us right now, because we're all stuck at home a little bit more than usual.
Exactly.
But just to imagine your product a bit more visually, I guess. Let's say we have very noisy home appliances, maybe a washing machine, a dishwasher, anything that makes noise in our homes. What would your product look like? Could we, as consumers, buy it directly and place it under our noisy devices, or would it be integrated directly into these devices?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Actually, both options are available. Now we are actually working with companies producing, for example, the kitchen hoods or other appliances. And so in this period, we are working with them with the co-development agreement in order to integrate this our technology inside the product itself. But actually, there is also the potentiality to have some let's say, add-ons or some products that can be bought directly and placed on the product, on for example, the air conditioning system in order to make it less noisy.
So then for you as a startup, you would be selling both to maybe large companies like car producers, electronic manufacturers, but also directly to consumers. You would have both business models?
Well, it depends a lot on the market. You know that, for example, the automotive market is really complex, and it's not easy to enter and be the suppliers directly to, for example, the industry of the automotive industry. So we are now working with corporates that produce these machines, for example, the heat pumps or the kitchen hoods, and we are working for a co-development in order to make our technology integrated. So this is our business model right now.
And how has it been going for you guys so far? Can you tell us a little bit about your development as a startup, maybe some of the milestones that you've gone through already?
Yeah, excellent. So basically, we are quite young. The project starts with a PhD research program in Politecnico di Milano in collaboration with MIT Boston. After that, like at the end of the PhD, one of the co-founder won the Switch to Product competition, which is an innovation challenge held by Politecnico in collaboration with some private companies. And with this small grant, he was able to with the three co-founders, to start the machine that led to the foundation of the company in 2018. So in 2019, we got the first round seed that helped us to create like a real company and start to work with the companies, with the co-development contracts and agreements that I was talking about. So I would say that 2019 was at the goal that we reached to create several POC in the application that we wanted to address. While for 2020, the goal is basically to switch from POC to market. So what we are addressing right now is the industrialization process in collaboration with the corporates we work with.
So 2019 was a big year, and hopefully this year will be as well. But I have to ask, since you're based in Italy, and obviously Italy has been very affected by the current crisis, how did you guys adapt to that? You're all working from home at the moment. What is happening to your production line? How is it going?
Yeah, this has been really a fast change and unbelievable. We are based in Milan, which is basically the most affected region in Italy, and it was really unbelievable, like a science fiction book or movie. Really, this problem, this crisis, that is worldwide crisis, is of course affecting also us in the sense that a lot of suppliers and partners are involved by the lockdown rules, but still we are all, of course, all working from home with smart working, and a lot of activities must be like put in standby. But we all think also that this situation can be also an opportunity somehow. Opportunity to us to rethink and question every single aspect of the company, such as goals, forecast, of course expenses, because it's a tough period, but also efficiency and processes in general. So yeah, like it's a really tough moment, but we have to look at the bright side and take it as a real opportunity for the future.
That's right, and it's definitely also a good time, as you say, to reflect on overall strategy and what your goals would be. Will you tell us a little bit more about your team? Because we know you guys quite well, and we know you have a great team, very hardworking, very smart people. Tell us a bit more about who you're working with.
Man, the team is really like the key aspect of a young company such our startups. We are almost 2 years old, but I would say that we have had a lot of experience on the team aspect. At the beginning, we were like, oh man, there's a lot of work to do. Like the more we are, the better it is. And very soon we realized, actually, that is not true. You have to tune your team, and it's a really tricky aspect. So we invested a lot in the team through a very high-profile recruiting, but not only on terms of academic or career records, but also in terms of human values and soft skills, I would say. So, for example, I'm happy to say also here welcome to our two new entries. For example, Simone, we have another Simone right now, which is who is a PhD student again of Politecnico of Milan and former project leader in BCG. And also Lucia, another PhD in photonic Metamaterials. But not only that, she's also the mother of 5 children. So, of course, she can teach us a lot of soft skills. So we have invested a lot on that. We really think that it's a key aspect. For example, we invest in coaching project with professional coaching. And this is really important because startup life is, I think it's a really tough challenge. We are all young, enthusiastic, but sometimes this is not sufficient. You need to have a team which share a method, an organization, and also values, I would say. So right now we are a group of 8 people. At the beginning, we were all from the engineering technical environment. Now, of course, the company is growing. We are addressing more topics. So we have some people from the design, design environment. Some people for the business development environment. And also, we can have the support of a very strong senior board advisors that help us for the business development and the strategic decisions.
And are you hiring at the moment, in case anyone is listening and is looking for a job in Milan?
Well, we are always looking for enthusiastic and new people. We are not hiring at the moment, but yeah, we are always looking around because we are growing and besides this crisis, things are really potentially good. So we are looking around every time.
Okay, so we can send in our CVs if we feel like moving to Italy after Corona crisis is over.
Of course, do that.
Perfect. And you mentioned apart from the strong team you also have quite a few advisors, and I'm sure you've received a lot of good advice over the last few years. Can you share with us some of the things you've been told or advised since the beginning of Phononic Vibes that you feel are good insights for any startup founder or any member of a startup?
Yeah, it's really crucial to have some advisor that can share with you their experience and their strategic vision. Because you can have the best idea ever, the best product, but nowadays it's not that easy. It's not sufficient anymore. So I would say that they really helped us in order to look at the overall picture, look at the market, and also in a way stop falling in love for the technology and look only at the technology, but look also to the overall picture that is around your company, let's say. Because you have this idea from your PhD, you are really enthusiastic and you really believe in the technology, but to make a company, this is not sufficient. So as soon as you realize that this is not sufficient, the best it is, because you have to look at a lot of other strategic parts in order to be successful in this. So it's really important to have some I would say more experienced people that help you in this difficult process.
And participating in programs like accelerators, incubators, do you find that useful? And if you do, what are the elements that you find useful? I'm not saying you have to say anything positive about Admocom here, just to clarify. I'm just generally curious to know, for a startup, for a startup at your stage, when is it worth joining, for example, an accelerator program? And when do you feel it's actually worth more to stay focused, keep working, and not join any programs that might sidetrack you from what you're doing?
Of course, Admacam was really an exciting and the best program we have attended. More in general, we really had a lot of advantages of participating to this acceleration program. I want also to mention the Politecnico Accelerators, which is PolyHub, which is helping us since the very beginning of the company. And this is a real good opportunity and something, again, crucial, because at the beginning there is so much to do. The situation is so messy and confused. and it's really important to have someone telling you what are the milestones, what are the main steps that you have to do. And so it also helps on the focus on what you have to do at the very first steps. But my opinion is that for a startup, it's always important to be connected and to participate to these programs. Maybe you have to choose them, which are more focused for early stage companies and which are instead better tuned for your stage. But of course, you need to have a balance. You cannot only go to accelerators that don't work on your development, but with the proper balance is always a good idea and a good opportunity. This is my opinion on that. I would always suggest to be connected and participate in such programs.
Right, even just to get some outside perspective, maybe make some new connections that you may or may not use in the future, but it's a good idea to stay connected. So what are the next steps for Phononic Vibes? What are you wishing for 2020? Let's try to imagine a world in which the coronavirus crisis isn't as pressing as it is at the moment, and you can develop at a normal pace. What do you hope to achieve this year and maybe next year as well?
Yeah, besides this worldwide crisis, the challenge of 2020 and 2021 is for sure to bring Metamaterial to market. Like I said at the beginning, the Metamaterial is really a change in the paradigm of addressing these topics. So it's a change, like engineering seen not only as a science of studying materials, but in this case of building new materials from scratch, basically. The real challenge for this year is to take something that so far has been basically only in the academic field and take it and bring it to the market and take it to the customer. This is really our goal, our challenge, and what we are working on every day.
And are you finding it hard to convince people of the concept of metamaterial, or do you see more excitement than fear when introducing this concept to potential partners?
It's tough in this situation without the support of some picture or videos that usually helps. So I once again, I suggest the listener to go to our website, because there are a couple of videos that help to understand how it works. But as soon as people understand the mechanism, so far we have met a lot of excitement, and I would say only excitement, not fear about it, because actually there's no magic. Let's say it's not something related to difficult physics or something that's you need a PhD in string theory to understand. It's just masses and flexible parts that are working to absorb energy. So it's really something that I wouldn't say that it scares anyone.
So you say it's not magic, but it looks pretty magical, especially if you watch the videos. It looks pretty interesting how it's able to change the quality of the sound to that extent. So that's pretty cool. It was lovely having you on our podcast today. And finally, before we let you go, can you tell us how people can find you in case they have any questions or they'd like to know more about Phononic Vibes?
Yeah, sure. So thanks again for inviting me. And I would like to tell everybody to follow us on our Facebook page or LinkedIn page and also website. And don't hesitate to write us if you have any curiosity or question. And you can find us there, and hopefully very soon in the products that you will buy for your home. So thanks again.
Thank you, and we'll put all the links in the description of the podcast, and hopefully see you soon in person, either in Milan or in Berlin. And thanks again for joining us today.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Startup the Science.
If you like our show and want to know more about what we do, check out our website at inam.berlin.
And don't forget to leave us a review. Until next time.